do you have an appointment? I am a very busy man, really. Oh, right, you're here for the... Andrew McClellan tells all. Well, pay attention, kiddies, because there'll be a quiz at the end. And I do love a good quiz. In 1882, by the time I came here to Pueblo to work for the wholesale grain and feed business, I had been a teacher, a farmer, and a carpenter. So it was only natural that when I bought the Pueblo Flour Mill, started the McClellan Mercantile Company and the McClellan Realty Company. Eventually, I became president of the Pueblo Board of Trade. Oh, you folks call that the Chamber of Commerce. I erected the Board of Trade building. I also donated money to help build Mineral Palace, the old Opera House, and a building down here on Union called the Riverside. In 1890, are you paying attention, class? 1890, I became chairman of a committee called the Right of Way. I was delegated to obtain $1 million worth of real estate to offer up to the Missouri Pacific Railway if they, in exchange, would make their terminal here in Pueblo. That took me over a year. Maybe some enemies too, but we'll get back to that in a minute. In 1901, are you writing this down? 1901, Andrew Carnegie presented Pueblo with money to build a library. The only hitch was we had to match the funds. When the city was still $7,000 short, I donated the money so that people could read the books there, and it became the, you guessed it, Carnegie insisted on it, McClellan Public Library. In 1905, I donated a large building on Abriendo Avenue so the city can start an orphanage. I asked that Pueblo only come up with a small $5,000 for operating expenses. When the orphanage committee couldn't come up with the money, my wife donated her own money to the cause. See, we never had children, and, well, she took a special interest in the place. She looked after it her whole life, and long after having donated money and her will to it. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. Remember when I said I made a few enemies working on that railroad deal? Well, one of those enemies turned out to be none other than Norbert Zink. Now, I don't know if he was just mad about his name, or if I pushed him a little too hard trying to get him to vote for that railroad deal, but Norbert Zink sure didn't like me. So at the time, Pueblo was simply scandalous. There were over 100 saloons, numerous houses of ill repute, and who knows how many gambling dens down here. Suffice to say, I spent many years trying to make Pueblo a better place to live. And when I couldn't stand it anymore, I started to investigate the red light district to find out exactly who owned the buildings these do-no-gooders were working out of. Norbert Zink started to tell people that I owned some of the buildings down here, and he said that he had proof, because my name was on them. Now, remember when I started the McClellan Realty Company? Well, that's what we do. We put signs on houses and buildings that are for sale or lease. I mean, call me crazy, but I'm pretty sure that's how you sell real estate. Besides, I was also pretty sure I could prove some of our city officials were involved in the red light district themselves. Unfortunately, a lot of people started to side with Norbert Zink. See, Zink, being a member of the council, had proposed 2 ordinances against me. One, to remove me from the library board, and another to remove my name from the library altogether. Now, at the same time all of this was going on, there was also a city election about to happen. There were some others who thought there were undesirables in our government as well, and that group had obtained enough votes to change our city government to a commission, and there were 55 candidates up for 5 positions. Now, the next day, November 6, 1911, are you paying attention back there? November 6, 1911, a delegation of about 50 men and women crowded the chamber. The atmosphere was very tense. Zink almost got into a fistfight with one of the council members. Now, the women in the group stood up in my defense to remind them that I donated about $20,000 worth of books and equipment for the library. I stood up and started in on Mayor West. I told everyone not to vote for him in the election the next day. I yelled so long and so hard that the mayor was in tears. That's right, I made the mayor cry. I apologized later, of course. But, you know, I hadn't even got to the meat of my argument before the city council president called me to order. Of course, by that time, I'm sure even some of my supporters wanted me to quiet down. Zink eventually withdrew the proposals against me, but there was still a crowd of men who headed up to the library that night with pickaxes to actually try to remove my name. That, however, is a story for another time. Now, having went on 3 grand tours of my life, I brought back some very interesting things to Pueblo. One being a scarab beetle dating back to 3500 BC. What else was there? Oh, a 30-pound brick from the Great Wall of China. Try putting that in your overhead. And my favorite, my absolute favorite, 3 honest-to-goodness mummies. Now, 2 of them are no longer here, being at the Denver Museum of Natural History, but one mummy is still here at the Rosemont Museum today. Personally, I don't understand what's so frightening about a little mummy. I mean, she's right behind me, isn't she? Oh, not again. I suggest everyone run now. Pardon me, folks, for all my manners. It really was a pleasure. Have a lovely evening.